Hello, my name is Jessica, and I want to tell you a story. A story that is wholly mine, yet it echoes through the community to so many others who are struggling in the same fashion. Also, in case you're wondering, I'm wearing a mask not to hide my identity, but because I do not have dental insurance, and I am too ashamed to talk to you without it. Moving on. My story begins May 2020. The restaurant I was employed at and being paid under the table is closed, and my husband of 14 years and I are told by the police to vacate our place of residence by the mentally unstable owner of the condo where we were renting a room. Rewind one moment to the best part. As you know, during the pandemic, people were able to draw unemployment if your job was impacted by COVID, right? Wrong. I was one of the many who were denied this money. I appealed 4 times and even had a video hearing with a judge and was still denied. However, I knew people who hadn't worked for years and applied and were paid $600 a week. Fast forward 57 weeks, sleeping at the homeless shelter, where you must check in by 7 p.m. or you do not get to come in, and working construction or flagging for a temp agency by day to earn enough for necessities but not a roof over our heads. After 1 year of what is called chronic homelessness, I qualified for subsidized housing, where I got a 1-bedroom apartment that I can afford with my current job at the recycling center. We were also able to buy 2 mopeds for our transportation to and from work. Fairy tale ending, right? No. Let's get on to part 2. Fast forward 1 year. My husband becomes gravely ill and is hospitalized for 2 months and 7 days and is sent home to me needing total care. During the hospital stay, my last running moped stops running and is taken to the shop where I'm prepared to pay maybe $100 or so to fix it. No. Try $475. All I could do is cry. So my days now consist of paying $20 a day for a ride to and from work, 5 days a week. Getting home and caring for my husband, who must have bandage changes every night, and all his equipment is so large we can barely walk in our little 1-bedroom apartment. I consider myself the working poor, and there are so many of us out here working our butts off and aren't able to save a dime of extra money to pay for things like a broken bike or constant toothaches because your whole mouth needs an overhaul. Prices for everything keep rising while I'm still making the same thing I was a year ago. Some days it feels like I worked for nothing because by the time I step foot in the door, I've had to spend everything I made that day. It's a vicious cycle, and I'm ashamed at making this. I'm not the type of person who asks for help. I always try to fix things myself, but this time I can't. I feel like I'm drowning, but I'm swimming toward the surface as hard as I can. But there's a heavy chain attached to my leg pulling me back down. People just don't know what it's like to need something and not be able to go out and get it, but you worked all week. So this time I'm asking for some help to get my bike back, so I don't have to pay for rides every day, and I can run errands and go to the store when I need to, not on someone else's time. Thanks for listening, and I'll put my Cash App below if you're able to help. Anything will help. And thank you. God bless.